Alright guys, today I got a shoe in my hand that I am the most excited about out of any shoe that I've gotten in a very long time. Just because of how unique these are. You already saw the thumbnail, you know what shoe this is. I don't need to bait you guys on and on. These are the Salehe Bembury Crocs in the Tide colorway. So I ended up copying these kind of by accident because as I've been telling my plug to bring me more and more shoes, I ended up telling him to bring me these, and it just so happened that I really liked them. I asked him if I could buy them off him, and that's exactly what I did. So these are officially mine now, the Salehe Crocs, and we're going to go over all the details. So, for those of you guys who don't know Salehe Bembury, he is an up-and-coming artist that's been absolutely killing the game lately. He made a bunch of New Balances. Those were pretty much his most notable pieces of work until these came out, which are his Crocs, and basically his spin on the existing Croc model. And his New Balances were very, very unique, and my favorite ones are the Water Be the Guides, but he also made Sand Be the Times and a few other ones that I wasn't feeling, but overall, very creative guy, obviously. This shoe is supposed to represent his footprint, or his fingerprint rather, my fault. This is supposed to represent his fingerprint, and this is that's what the shoe is modeled after, which is very unique. Let's jump into the box before we jump into the details of the shoe. So on top we have the model of both of the shoes, as you can see right there. And I really like how ergonomic this box is. I can easily fit it in my hands. It's not like a massive box. This is the side. These were purchased directly from Salehe Bembury. On the side it says Crocs, Salehe Bembury. On this side it just has a little logo of the Crocs. And then when you open the box, there's not too much inside. It's actually a very secure box. You really need to pry it open, but you just get some wrapping paper and a few labels. So with that being said, let's jump directly into the shoe. There's not that much to say about these because they are a Croc or a clog or whatever you want to call it. But on the lateral side, you have that silhouette right there, the Salehe Bembury's. On the back, you got this little pull strap, which is to hold your foot into place. It also says the size on it. I believe on the inside, right there, as you can see, it does say the size and the Crocs branding. On the medial side, it looks exactly the same as on the lateral side. And then the front, I believe, is the coolest part. The frontal view of these is just so sick, in my personal opinion. This is the outsole. As you can see, there is two different portions of the outsole. That is a piece of technology, actually, because the idea is that this lighter shade on the outsole is supposed to wear out quicker, whereas the parts that get the most contact with the ground are a more sturdy TPU material, which is pretty hard. These actually are very hard. They don't bend or squish that much, which provides for a very supportive fit, which we'll get into in a second. On the inside, you got that typical Crocs acupuncture looking design. The other shoe is exactly the same. Here's the lateral side, same exact deal, same Tide blue colorway, and then here's the side. And then one detail I forgot to mention is there is a toe guard on your big toe area right here, which is really good for if someone accidentally steps on your foot. Usually in a pair of Crocs, it wouldn't be as supportive as a pair of shoes against getting stepped on, but that toe guard does help a lot right there. You can see it. So let's jump straight into sizing and comfort, because that is the biggest thing with this shoe, as it is a shoe built primarily for comfort. So these are insanely comfortable. I can't express that enough. they are, in my opinion, more comfortable than a regular pair of Crocs because they actually provide a lot of support. It's not like after a while they'll get mushy on you and you'll feel like you're walking on like a pillow, which is not exactly what you want for all day wear. In terms of like comparing these to the foam runners, I personally did not like the foam runners at all. Those did not fit my foot shape for whatever reason. And not only that, they also were uncomfortable after a while and gave me blisters if I wore them barefoot. Granted, I have not tried these on barefoot, but with socks on, they're good because they don't pull onto your socks and like make them ball up, which is what the foam runners did for me. And then I've never actually worn Easy Slides, but those are also pretty comfortable, I hear. Not too sure how they compare. You can also rock these with a strap forward, which I don't think looks good, or you could just take it off. But here you also see like the back heel of it, which is very raised, which helps keep your foot in place as well, which is a nice detail. So in terms of sizing on this shoe, that is the primary complaint about this shoe overall, and what everyone's been talking about over the last like year that these have been out. You want to go a full size down in these. These come only in full sizes, so if you're a size 10, go for a size 9. If you're a size 10 and a half, just go for a size 9 as well, because these run massive. These are a size 9, and I still have a little tiny bit of room. Granted, they are Crocs, so they don't need to be like the most form-fitting shoe ever, but it's nice not to have a boat on your feet. So go a full size down, you won't regret it, and yeah, that'll be fine for sizing. Don't worry too much about it. I was worried because my plug is a size 9, so these are a size 9, and I usually wear a 10, but he informed me that they were not full size big, and he wasn't kidding around. So you also have these ventilation holes all throughout the shoe, which kind of like give you a lot of room to breathe, which is to be expected of a Croc-like shoe. So in terms of the price on these are actually pretty cheap for like a hype shoe, but they're not cheap for a Croc. They're going for like $100, which is kind of a lot for a Croc, I guess, but I'd say it's worth it because they are actually a new design. Like, they're not based off of any exact shoe. Like, you can't get this shoe without the Salehe elements for cheaper. So it is a very unique shoe for sure. The colorway of this one is the Tide, but they have a lot of different colorways. They have the Tides, the Koalas, the Sasquatches, which are like a black one, the Crocodiles, the Nemonas, the Cucumbers, which are the original ones, which honestly I think are probably the worst ones, the Cobblers, and there's also a white pair called the Stratas, and I believe that's all of them, but I could have forgotten one. Overall, there's pretty much every color in these. There's also the Urchins, which are like a lavender colorway. So whatever color you like, they probably offer them in these. I would get one of the cheaper ones because I think the cheaper and newer colorways are actually cooler looking, and why would you purposely pay more for the exact same shoe? It's not like these are like retros where, you know, a Jordan 1 Lost and Found is drastically different than a Jordan 1 Heritage, but with these, they're a new shoe, so whichever colorway is cheapest, I would say go for it, especially if they're exactly the same comfort. So yeah, with that being said, I'm in love with this shoe, as I already portrayed and conveyed throughout the video. On foot coming up right now. I'll catch you later. Catch me walking around in these.